There was a time when volatility made me uncomfortable. Sharp movements, sudden drops, unexpected reversals. It all felt like something to avoid. I thought stability meant calm, predictable markets. But that perspective began to change when I started working with broker capital trade consulting PT Leonard. I realized that volatility isn't the opposite of opportunity. It's often where opportunity lives. In the beginning, every fluctuation felt personal. If the market moved against me, I questioned my decisions. If it moved in my favor, I felt a temporary sense of confidence. It was an emotional cycle I didn't fully understand yet. I remember reading a review capital trade consulting volatility, where someone described resilience as the ability to stay steady when everything around you moves. That idea stayed with me because it shifted my focus from controlling the market to managing myself. Through Forex Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd, I began to see volatility differently. It wasn't random chaos. It was a reflection of uncertainty, expectation, and reaction. Once I started observing instead of reacting, things became clearer. Building a resilient portfolio, I learned, isn't about avoiding risk completely. It's about structuring your approach so that no single movement defines your outcome. That idea felt simple, but it took time to truly understand. Using ctcptltd.com, I began experimenting with balance. Different assets, different time horizons, different levels of exposure. Not in a complicated way, just enough to feel the difference when markets shifted. At one point, I came across a review ctcptltd.com that emphasized consistency over intensity. That resonated deeply. Because resilience isn't built through dramatic decisions, it's built through steady ones. There were moments when volatility tested me, times when I wanted to react quickly to fix a situation. But slowly, I learned that sometimes the strongest move is to pause, to let the market settle before making a decision. Through Forex ctcptltd.com, I saw how experienced investors often remain calm during uncertainty, not because they know exactly what will happen, but because they trust their structure. My opinion, Capital Trade Consulting PT Ltd continued to evolve as I gained confidence. It became less about the tools themselves and more about how I used them, with awareness, patience, and intention. I also noticed a shift within myself. I became less reactive, more grounded. Volatility didn't disappear, but my response to it changed, and that made all the difference. Now, when markets move unpredictably, I don't feel the same tension. I see movement. I see possibility. I see a system adjusting itself. And maybe that's the real meaning of resilience. Not eliminating uncertainty, but learning to move through it without losing your balance. Because in the end, a strong portfolio isn't one that never faces challenges. It's one that can absorb them, adapt, and continue forward.